What's going on, everybody, in the Asgardian League of Fantasy? It is I, your benevolent commissioner, Olive Juice 88, coming at you with the Week 9 recap. Yeah, I'm getting it done, and it's going to be posted today, too. I'm not going to wait till Sunday. It is Friday. Sitting here waiting to pick up the kids from school, grab the girl first, and then head to the bus stop to get the boy. Um, that's how it pretty much goes when I'm sitting in the line here making the videos. If you've ever been curious, um, I don't know why I started rambling on about that, but anyway, we'll move on. We'll move right into it, into our recap. In our first matchup, we had myself taking on Brad, and this one was a little closer than I would have liked it to be. An 11-point victory for myself going into the Monday night matchup with only Garrett Wilson left to play, um, and I needed 1 point, but as we know, Zach Wilson hasn't been all that great um, this year, and I ended up getting that point. I ended up getting 12 of them to get that 11-point victory. Um, it was a tough one. It wasn't as big of a sweat as my other league where I went into the matchup down 10, and I only had the Chargers defense left to play, and they put up 27 to bring me that victory. So that was nice. That was a bigger sweat than Brad, but all in all, I was glad to come out with this victory. I am gonna have to go ahead and throw Kenny Moore, the bench player of the week. I didn't write down how many points he had, but I assume it was a lot because he had 8 tackles with 2 interceptions, and he took both of those to the house for touchdowns, and just really that pretty much destroyed the Panthers' hopes in that game, and kind of limited the other options for the Colts. When you get defensive touchdowns like that, you kind of just play it safe a little bit, I guess. So, and we'll see. That may have affected. Sorry, my eyes itching a little bit. Got it, I think. Yeah. That probably limited some of the Colts' offensive options. And we'll see how that affected maybe another matchup later in this recap. So, moving on, we had Josh Russell taking on Brian Carden, coming out with a 5-point victory. That was our closest matchup of the week. Melvin taking out Josh Jansen by 28 points. Mr. Smith taking out old Matt Murphy by 65 points. Led by Rachaad White, who is our offensive MVP this week, putting up 27.9 points, 119 total yards, and 2 touchdowns for the Buccaneers, in what was a crazy game that we'll bring up a little later. And in our final matchup, Eric overcoming what he thought was going to be a tough matchup. Seems like he thinks that Pops plays them pretty tough every time they play. This time it wasn't much of a fight, given that Eric came out with a 28-point victory over dear old dad. But that might have been a little bit because of the Colts-Panthers matchup, given that the Colts defense put up a bunch of points and probably limited the damage Jonathan Taylor did in that game for Papa Bear. I hope you can start turning around and make a playoff push. I'd really like to see you in the playoffs, but it's getting a little late in the season, so you're going to have to start now. You're gonna have to start stringing together some wins. So we'll see what happens. But you know, uh, just keep trying, Dad. I believe in you. I'd like to see you at least triple your win total from last year. Um, that's 300% better. It's a 300% improvement from year to year. If you do that again next year, if you manage to make three wins this year, you do it again, you 300% improve to next year. That's 9 wins. And I mean, hey, or no, I think I don't know. Math is hard, and I don't have to do it that much anymore because I'm not in school. So um, I only really need it for fantasy football purposes, and counting money when I happen to win money. So there's that. Defensive player of the week, going to go to Max Crosby as we get off of that diatribe there on math. He had 41 points, 8 tackles, 3 sacks. It was a big game for Max Crosby and the Raiders after firing Josh McDaniels and taking out their competition in week 1 and what is essentially probably a fresh start for their season, because I don't think they're so far out of it that they can't make a playoff push. So we'll see how that goes the rest of the year. Moving on, we don't have a lot as far as like segments. We're going to take a little bit of a break from that this week. Last year about this time, I just kind of recapped some injury news, just basic news around the league and some notes, some big time happenings that's gone on lately. So we'll go into that now. This week we have Kyler Murray returning to the field after his torn ACL. Justin Fields, he's getting close to a return. He didn't go last night, but I'm looking forward to his return as he is my main starter in another league. Daniel Jones tore his Achilles. He's done for the season. We'll see how that plays into the Giants' decision-making going into next year's draft. If they can get out of his contract for a decent, and not take too much of a financial hit, they might move on. They might, draft a quarterback. Maybe Caleb Williams, Drake May, any of those big-name guys that are coming out this year. Cam Akers tore his Achilles. Not the same one. It's the other one. But I imagine that, an Achilles injury is already tough on a running back to come back from. I imagine that it's not going to be easy having torn both of your Achilles to come back. I wouldn't be surprised if his career is done. Monday night, we did get a little pregame. Aaron Rodgers taking 3-step drops. Didn't look like he was doing them very fast. Looked like he was just kind of, taking it easy, just testing things out. I think he's another month, and there might be some serious talk about whether or not he can come back this year if they're still in playoff contention. So that'll be insane, and I'm here for it. It's a storybook. The script writers, that's what it is. The script writers wrote a good one for Rodgers and the Jets. Derek Montgomery coming back from his rib injury this week. Darren Waller, he's on IR again with this hamstring injury that he's been dealing with for the last season and a half. It seems like it sucks to see, but I think he's on the down. Oh, dropped my phone. Um, Freaking Miss Rachel songs. Uh, where's that at? Darren Waller. He's on the downturn of his career, I believe. Like it seems like he hasn't been able to stay healthy the past couple of seasons, and it's I don't think it's going to get much better as time goes on, as it gets a little older. Kirk Cousins tore his Achilles. Josh Dobbs traded for at the deadline, doesn't take any first team reps in practice. Doesn't even really know all of his teammates' names, and comes in as the backup. Jaron Hall goes into concussion protocol, and Josh Dobbs has to play, and keeps him in the game, brings him back, leads them on a game-winning drive. And from what I understand, the coach, Kevin O'Connell, I think is who it is. I don't remember his last name. I know his first name's Kevin. But, he's calling plays, and as they break the huddle, he's giving them little pointers, what receivers want it, running what to look for in the defense, for as long as he can. I guess the mic cuts off with like 10 or 15 seconds left in the play clock. So, if he's got any extra time to give him little tips and pointers on what to look for, he was doing it, and it worked out, man. That's crazy. That man, he's an interesting story. Like, the dude has a legit aeronautical engineering degree, I think it is. But so he's basically a rocket scientist, and to do what he's done in the past, couple seasons, brought in off the streets, makes a start for Tennessee, as they're in playoff contention at the end of last year. They almost win that game. Traded to Cleveland, or no, I don't think he was traded. I think he was signed to Cleveland for training camp. Traded at the end to Arizona. Has like a week to learn their playbook. Wins the game for them, which, I mean, it's not, don't get me wrong, like, it's only one win, but he had them in contention in a lot of their games. Traded to Minnesota, has to learn things on the fly and leads them on a game-winning drive. Like, that's wild. And another crazy finish, C.J. Stroud. I think they had 46 seconds left when Tampa Bay scored to take the lead. And he leads them down the field in 30 seconds to put them in scoring range, and throws the game-winning touchdown pass with 6 seconds left on the clock. The man completely tore it up last week, throwing 5 touchdowns. Broke a rookie record for most passing yards in a game. Completely insane. Just wild. The only other couple of notes I've got is Jonathan Taylor. He's now up to 74% of snaps last week, so it does look like the Zach Moss, workload is going down, and it's less of a timeshare and more of JT taking over. And Deontay Johnson finally getting back in the end zone after a drought that has been going on since 2021, it seems like an awfully long time to go without scoring a touchdown. But I don't think Kenny Pickett threw more than 5 last year. I don't really know, but it's hard to catch a touchdown when your quarterback throws single digits touchdowns. Excuse me. Just getting over a little cold, so throat's a little itchy. Surprised I haven't coughed until now. So, all that being said, we're going to go over the Week 10 matchups. We've got myself in the Battle of the Brothers against Brian Smith. I am currently favored in the projections, but, we'll see what happens. Brad taking on Carden. Brian Carden is favored in that. Josh Jansen taking on Josh Russell in the ever so popular Battle of the Joshes in our league with three of them. I feel like I'm saying Battle of the Joshes every other week, but that's basically what it is. Russell is favored in that. Matt Murphy taking on Eric in our supervisor battle. Eric is favored in that one after winning the first matchup, I believe. And then Pop's taking on Melvin. Gonna need a big turnout to be able to take out Melvin. Hopefully he gets some explosive performances and we bring Melvin down a notch on this season, as he is favored. Melvin is favored, and he looks like he's just chugging along on his way to at least the championship appearance. So I'm excited to see how the season plays out. We're 9 weeks through. We've got 5 more weeks before the regular season games. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 as the playoffs start in week 15. So 5 more games, y'all. If you're on the edge, suppose that's not the word I'm looking for. I suggest that you start winning games so that you can get into the playoffs. And I'm one of those guys. I'm on the edge. So hopefully I can start a winning streak that doesn't end until sometime next season. And I can take myself home a championship trophy. But all that being said, it's been fun doing these recap videos for you guys. I'm going to get out of here in about 10 more minutes. We're going to be scooping up the first child and scooting on over to the stop for the second child. Excuse me. So, just want to wish you guys luck in your matchups, except for you, Brian Smith. Yeah, so good luck. I'm going to get out of here so I don't cough in your face again. Bye. See y'all later next week. Good luck.